And those are the guys from Seaside. Lynn Willard there on the Buzendorfer. There's Bob there on the saxophone, Pat on the drums, and Tom Bishop on the bass. Great job, guys, and good morning, everyone. Hey, what a joy it is to be with you on this wonderful, magical time right between Christmas and the New Year. It is a time where there is magic, where there are gifts, where there's divine happenings. And so, are you ready for a divine happening in your life? Well, I am here to prompt that, inspire that, and just want to welcome everyone who is here at Seaside today. And know that your presence is helping to create and sculpt what this morning is about to be. But one of the things it is always about is spirit. We put spirit first always, and what we have at every service, and in particular today, the light holder is a wonderful practitioner by the name of Sherry Blair. And Sherry is carrying the candle down the steps back into our prayer corner. She has been trained in the wonderful art of prayer to know the truth whenever she is asked to know that. And she'll be sitting back there by the bust of Ernest Holmes, and it's just there to be a conduit for that light to flow, for that spirit to flow. And if by any chance anybody could use some prayers, that is where our prayer box is. You fill out a prayer request. It's put in there, and it's prayed on every day through the course of the week by all of our 50 practitioners. So take advantage of that. But what I want to do is invite everybody to stand and let's sing together a wonderful, powerful congregational song. God is...
All right. Let's go ahead and sing it out loud this morning. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Come on, Bob. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Oh, yeah.
All right, God is my source for sure. Hello, there we go. All right, anyway, to keep that spirit flowing here, to take us to that wonderful deep place is a powerful practitioner, and that is Denise Harmon.
Good morning. Let us go into the stillness, allowing each gong to take you deeper. being in that vibrational pulse. I go to that place of knowing and sensing and trusting God's presence within every space, within every place, guiding, nourishing, encouraging, loving, embracing. Knowing that I move in that embrace, in that vibrational impulse. As I know this for myself, I know this for each one here, that each one moves in that creative force, in that impulse, in that propulsion for transcendence, that propulsion for fulfilling that inner yearning, that inner desire, that inner purpose. Knowing that today's service unfolds beautifully, bringing in that energy, bringing in and vibrating with that vibration. Knowing that Dr. Christian is divinely guided in his words, in his insights, in his knowingness, reaching and touching each one here in that beautiful essence, in that beautiful propulsion, guiding each to its individualized expression even more higher transcendence of thoughts, of actions. And I move in that gratitude and knowing that Seaside radiates in that, radiating individually and collectively, and beaming and pulsating out to the world and touching all. And I rest in that, and so it is. Amen.
Blessings and grace, love overflowing, joy in this place. Spirit is showing blessings and grace, mind, body, soul, and I am one with God. Blessings and grace, love overflowing, joy in this place. Spirit is showing blessings and grace, mind, body, soul, and I am one with God. Blessings and grace, love overflowing, joy in this place. Spirit is showing blessings and grace, mind, body, soul, and I am one with God.
It's so beautiful. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Lynn. Beautiful, beautiful. We are blessed to have such a fantastic music team. My name is Debbie McDonald, Reverend Debbie. It's my pleasure to be here with you today, the very last Sunday of 2014. We are very grateful that you're here and you chose to be here with us this Sunday. If it is your first time here, please know that we have a welcome package for you, an envelope in the back at the new member table. The welcome table, if you go ahead and just pick one up on your way out, it has all sorts of things in there, some goodies for you, coupon for bookstore and coupon for a muffin, I believe, and then some information about Seaside and religious science and a little bit more about what we're all about. So please be sure to pick one up if this is your first time. If you are a regular and you are here all the time, we welcome you as well. We're very, very grateful that you're here. You are the heart and the soul of Seaside, and we're very blessed that you're part of our family. Dr. Christian's talk today is titled Expanding Your Good in 2015. And so I'm going to read something here from Ernest Holmes today, 365 Days of Science of Mind. It's a wonderful daily reader of a compilation of all of Ernest Holmes' writings. Right action prevails in all my affairs. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever you desire when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them. Matthew 11:24. There could be no more explicit technique for effective prayer than this, laid down by the Master himself. We actually are to believe that we already possess the object of our desire when we ask for it. We are to accept it even as we believe in the harvest that follows the spring planting. Therefore, every spring should be one of hope and every harvest one of fulfillment. We must learn to accept the good we desire and affirm its presence in our experience. Realizing that there is a law of good that governs my affairs, I lose every thought of doubt, fear, or uncertainty and accept the good that I desire here and now. Realizing that this law of good not only knows how to create, but must contain within itself all the details of its own creation. I let go of the need to say how my good shall come and accept the perfect answer today. Feeling a deep sense of gratitude and joy because of this, I live enthusiastically and with a calm and happy anticipation of more good yet to come. And because there is no sense of strain in this, I relax in quiet contentment, while at the same time realizing that what the law of good does for me, it must do through me. I declare that I not only know what to do, but I am impelled to act, to move objectively. I move into a greater sphere of action and live with complete certainty, calm confidence, and limitless trust. Today, everything of good in my experience is reanimated, reborn, and increased. Gladly I accept this and place no limit on divine givingness. And so it is. So I just invite you to take these words into prayer. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes and join me. Just knowing there is only one power and one presence, and it is love. And it is good, and it is God, and knowing that that one power is in, through, and as all things, seen and unseen, that there is nothing, absolutely nothing but the divine. And I know that I am one with all that is. And just as I know this is true for me, I know it's true for each person here in this sanctuary. I'm knowing that each one is a perfect expression of spirit, perfect, whole, and complete right here and right now. I'm knowing that each person that is here, sitting here today, is God made manifest. I am so grateful to know this truth, to speak these words, to see each one in their absolute perfection, their divine self that is constantly there, knowing that it's Spirit's good pleasure to give forth all the gifts of the kingdom, knowing that Spirit is always giving, and it is just our job to open to receive even more and more, to open ourselves to receive all those blessings that are constantly being bestowed upon us. And I'm knowing for Seaside Center for Spiritual Living that it's a place of absolute miracles. It's a place of healing. It is a light on the mountain. I'm knowing that everyone that is drawn here from that sense of the divine, feeling and knowing and sensing that power and that presence that is here. Knowing that all the prayers in our prayer request chests are answered. That each and every individual that comes through this door is here for a divine appointment. I'm knowing that as Dr. Christian shares his message today, that each one is touched in a deep and magnificent way. So blessed to be part of this spiritual community. So blessed to be part of this Seaside family. So with a sense of absolute gratitude, with that sense of absolute joy that I just simply release these words into divine action of the law, knowing that it is already done, it is already manifest, and so it is.
Good morning, Seaside. Well, it is my honor to introduce our guest artist for today. He's down here from Los Angeles, and he's been here with us before. And he will actually be here again next month on February 8th to do a Paul Robeson tribute. So please come on back for that if you enjoy just this beautiful timbre that he has in his voice. So he also has CDs for sale. So after the service, you can see him at the artist table. So without further ado, Michael Paul Smith.
Seaside! Woo! I made it. Yeah. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. Let's do that one more time. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. When Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. Oh, press so hard they could not stand. Let my people go. Oh, I said, go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. When pressed so hard they could not stand, let my people go. If not, I'll strike your firstborn dead. Let my people go. One more time, I said, go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. I said, go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. One more time, I said, go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people. I said, let my people, let my people. I said, let them go. Go down, Moses. Go down, Moses. Woo! Yeah. Calm down. Oh, Moses, way down, way down, way down.
Oh my goodness! Woo! Hey, Hey, let's come back to the Paul Robeson concert on February 8th here. So after the second service, we've been trying for years to get you to do that. Just rock the house on that one. They should have had you sing it for that big blockbuster that just came out, Exodus. Yeah, featuring Michael Paul Smith. Would that be good? I see that for you. So, hey, mark your calendar for February 8th. Denise Seidel is coordinating the whole thing, so I'm sure you could use some help. It's going to be a great time here. But right now, what I want to do is make sure that you expand your good in 2015. You up for that one? That's a good thing. Then you're in the right place. And so I thought, well, I just work on talking you into experiencing an expanded, abundant good in your life. Abundant blessings are rightfully yours in 2015. All you need to do is give up the concepts that there's something bigger than God, which shouldn't be too tough to do. But what happens is it begins to grab your attention, and you begin to believe what's in this world, and the headlines and people and friends and things out there are trying to talk you into not having a great next year. And I'm here to give you a heads up before you get into next year. It's all a matter of your attention, your awareness, what you are attracting into your life, and you're aware into your experience. You get to decide and set your intentions. Set your intention for this upcoming year. Any time is a good time to set your intentions and your goals. But it just so happens this is the end of the year, and there's a lot of energy going on with that. So do that, like setting the compass on your needle to the north. Boom. You know where you're going. You are clear. And it doesn't matter if it's dark, if it's foggy, if there's clouds. You've got an internal needle that is pointing you towards where it is you're heading. And if you want to experience an abundance in 2015, then that is what your intention needs to be. And so I want to be the one who encourages you to have that kind of faith. I want to be one who speaks faith into your belief system and lets you know how good it is to be in a community, a spiritual community of believers, of those who believe that they're in control of their reality and their experience, and that they are not held prisoner to their fears, to their worries, or to the headlines that are out there. You are in a community of people who have faith, and that faith kind of rubs off on others. You may not know who's sitting to your right, and you may not know who's sitting to your left. But what I do know is that person that is sitting there, you know them all, but is that person is bringing a sense of faith, bringing a sense of joy, a sense of belief, a deep understanding in that expression of God. And that is what is available to you. And allow that faith to rub off on you, so when you leave here, you can feel better for having taken the time out of the busyness of your week to reconnect with that divine source, that divine remembrance that's stirring that is in your soul. Because if not, what goes on in the world can be like a heavy fog that just is oppressive. And when you're in that fog, you can't see very far. It seems thick, it seems heavy, it seems oppressive. But I want to share with you the fact of fog. If you have a fog the size of 7 city blocks, 100 feet thick, if it was all to be condensed, it would be less than 1 full glass of water. And yet you can allow that kind of mist to obscure your vision and allow you to think that you don't know where you're going. Well, what happens is those fears or those concerns or those headlines begin to seep into one's subjective mind, and you begin to believe them when there is really no power, there's no strength to them. And so some of my favorite Bible verses I just want to share with you, and that is one of which you can find from the 26th chapter of Isaiah, verse 3, where it says, God will give you peace if you keep your mind stayed on thee. You will know peace if you keep your mind stayed on God. That means you got to trust in God. Keep your mind set on God, and you will know a peace. And so when the fog comes in, when the difficulty arises, when there's something oppressive, if all of a sudden I'm going to keep my mind on God, I'm going to keep my mind on that omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresence, I'm going to find peace inside. I'm going to be okay. Nothing going on out there has any greater power than God. If you want to experience the abundance and greater good in 2015, you come to know that. Another one of those Bible verses comes from the 3rd Psalm, verse 5. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and with all your soul, and lean not on your own understanding. Is that great? Don't lean on your own understanding. Trust in God. Because my understanding sees fog. My understanding has a bit of concern going on here. My understanding begins to be like a mouse or a guinea pig on a treadmill going around in my head, and begins to be, lean not on your own understanding. Trust in God with all your heart. With all that I am, I'm going to believe in Spirit. Spirit's greater than this here. And then the next verse says, acknowledge Him. Acknowledge God, and He'll direct your path. Very simple verses here. You acknowledge Spirit. Spirit is the power, it is the glory, it is the strength, it is the essence, it is the light, it is the love, it is the wholeness of my being. That's all I got to do is acknowledge Spirit. And my path will be revealed to me. I will know if I got a decision to make next week, next year. Acknowledge God first. And I'll know what I need to do. There's something inside. I've got to trust that, though. I've got to stop putting that worrying. And then the last one I want to give you comes from Exodus, the great song, Moses, free my people. That was good. But this one comes from Exodus that says very simply, put no other God before me. Put no other God before God. And we're very good there. I'm not going to worship golden calves anymore. I'm not going to worship Ra. I'm very clear. I'm not worshiping those gods that are out there. But what we do put before God is our fear. What we do put before God is our worry. What we do put before God are the headlines. What we do put before God is what the doctors have to say. What we put before God is our sense of a constricted or limited income or flow or what have you. And all of a sudden I begin to believe in that more than God. Put no other God before God. Pretty simple. And as you come to know that, you're going to be able to follow that compass of your being. As you come to know that, you're going to be able to move forward in a direction that begins to honor that. And when you're off track, when you're off compass, when you're off beam, when you're forgetting that is God that gives me peace, that's the time to move to prayer. You know, today is our prayer wall Sunday. The practitioners will be here to give you prayer if you want. If you got a question, if you got a desire, if you got a concern, come and say, hey, I've got this going on. I could use some help here. And that's what these practitioners do, is they pray. They pray. I like to say our sanctuary is prayer conditioned. It's always cool here. And I get it that sometimes things come up and then we can go some time without prayer. We can go a day without prayer. But 7 days without prayer makes 1 week. And if you're weak, I like to say, try a Seaside Sunday. It's better than Haagen-Dazs, The Sundays here are sweet. They're delicious. They're God in action. They will reveal to you the magic of the divine. As you come to remember, see, that's the beauty of being in a field of believers, that where the faith begins to rub off. The challenges that were there begin to lose their grip, their strength. The fog begins to be dissipated and just fits in a little glass. You want to have an abundant, wonderful 2015 filled with blessings, you got to begin to believe in that presence is everywhere around you. And how blessed we are to have a community that knows that and celebrates that. And we are the community. I get to carry on Sundays and we listen to fabulous music, but we are the community. And we pull together and we create miracles, as we did this year, whether it was with our roof or whether it is with our outreaches. We did some great things. As we come together. There was a minister who shared one time where he was attempting to raise some funds. They needed some kind of project taken care of, and he stood up on a Sunday and said, guys, I'm going to take another collection here, and we need some extra funds. And I'll tell you what, whoever makes the largest contribution today can pick 3 hymns. And so they sent basket around, and there was a check in there for $2,500. And the minister said, this is fabulous, and wasn't sure who it was. And he asked whoever contributed this to stand up. And he was surprised when it was an 85-year-old lady who rose up. And he said, just want to thank you very much. You get to pick 3 hymns. And she looked around the sanctuary, noticed the good-looking guy, and said, I'll take him, and I'll take him. What are we doing with our assumptions here? What is it that we do with our thinking and our thoughts? Because we have these stories that are playing inside of our mind. Have you ever walked into a restaurant? They've got the TV playing up in the back corner. It's just kind of low, but you hear that hum. You know, there's images. It's usually like the news that is going, the news headlines and the images, and they're just there in the background, bombarding your mind, bombarding your subjective, slipping in there, not talking you into a great 2015, showing you, oh my goodness, look at what has happened. You know, planes are missing out of the sky again, and terrible things are befalling, and who knows what is next. And all of a sudden it's lurking in your own subjective mind. How do you expect to attract magnificent and abundant blessings in your life if that is what is playing in your subjective mind? You have to take charge and dial in that tape and that music that you want going on there. And if you got enemies, I encourage you to treat your enemies well, because you created them to start with. You know, so you might as well treat them well. You are the one that is deciding how you're going to deal with what's going on in your life and in your world. That's it. Hezekiah. In the Bible, there's a story of the men came to him. They were the army, and the men came to Hezekiah and said, you know what? There's an army amassing outside. They are far larger than we are. They're far greater than we are. We have a great deal of concern. And what Hezekiah said to his men, he said, but that is a temporal army. They're the flesh of the arm. We have the Lord God with us. And with the Lord God, there is victory. When you have Spirit with you, there is victory. But you are the one who gets to decide if the flesh of the arm, the cardinal mind, the race consciousness is going to win. It may be amassing a great army. It may have a lot of headlines and evidence and saying why you cannot heal this particular disease or why there is this dynamic going on in the world. But if you remember that you have that Spirit, that's enough. The wonderful story that comes of Jesus, and he's on the floor, and Pilate says, Jesus, I've got your life in my hand. Talk to me, guy. And the story goes that he looks up, and he says, you have nothing in your hand. Any power that comes to you comes from on high, comes from God, comes from the Father, or comes from Caesar. But you don't have the power in your hand. Could you imagine somebody holding your life in their hands, and you say, you don't hold the power? Because they do not believe in that temporal power. They believe that God is where the victory is. You want to have a fantastic 2015, you've got to know the power lies with God. Not with God as a power over those headlines. Not with the power of God over the sickness, because that's why prayers don't seem to always work. It's because people are trying to take the power of God to overcome the power that's over here. God is not a power over a temporal power, because there is no otherness. We talk about that all the time. God is not a power over something that doesn't exist. Imagine seeing a mirage out in the desert. What good is there a power over something that doesn't exist? Do you follow me with that? That's what we're doing. We're taking God and saying, okay, we want you to overcome this mirage. It's of the temporal realm. It is of the arm of the flesh. It is the cardinal mind. It is part of the race expression. But it is not the spiritual truth. The spiritual truth is God, and there is nothing else. God, the truth is God. The truth is love. The truth is wholeness. The truth is abundance. The truth is joy. The truth is divine. The truth is what you are. It's not a power over anything. It's all that there is. And you are the one who gets to step into that. Now, granted, this is good in theory. And I realize that not every time is it going to work. Like, not 100%. It takes time to develop the consciousness that I do not need to combat the challenge that is here. But we want it quick. But it may take a year. It may take a few years. It may take 5 years. It may take a lifetime. And you come to recognize that there is not one issue that is larger than another one. That there's spirit. The Spirit is the same today, tomorrow, and forevermore. And that I got to just give up the concept that I got to grasp this all right away. It's not about speeding to your destination. You know, you're birthing something. You don't need to rush it into expression. It takes time to develop, the lungs, the kidneys, and all the fingers to make sure that they're there. It takes some time. We don't need to rush the process. It's not about how much can I accomplish, but how much can I enjoy this experience in my life that's going on here. There was this master Zen potter, exquisite pottery, but it was about the Zen. It was about the teachings. It was about the divine field. And there was this one apprentice that was with him for 3 years, and he was moving the most exquisite pots that this master had created, and he dropped it. Crashed into a million pieces. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that. I apologize, please. And the master said, that's okay. It came from in here. It's still alive in here. It still lives within me. The joy was in the process. It was in the creation. It was in the love. It was not about the finished product. What created good once will create good again. And you got to realize that you don't need to rush to make a bunch of pots. You don't need to rush to make things happen. But rather, your results are not lying in the future. Your results are lying inside of you. You want a magnificent, wonderful, abundant, blessed 2015, you've got to realize that your 2015 results aren't out there that you're going to go attain them, but rather they live inside of you now. And the only thing that's really good for great speed are train wrecks. Slow it down. A dead body on a fast train is not going to get the person there. Allow that life to fill you. Allow that life to be you. You don't need to rush it. I saw a sign the other day that said, if you love Jesus, honk. If you want to meet him, text. That presence, that life force, that essence, that spirit, it is there. And it's seeking to unfold its expression as your life. Trust the timing with it. Know that what is within you is perfect and it's going to come out, and you want to live in a sense of joy as it unfolds and expresses in your life and in your world. It's not about matter of rushing it forward. It's a matter of allowing it to come forward on its own time and its own will and its own way. And as you begin to honor that expression inside you, you'll begin to let go of the way you think things ought to be and they should be, and your assumptions on how it was supposed to be, and begin to open up on that divine presence and realize and recognize that what people are saying about your process and your position is their assumption and their perspective. It doesn't need to be yours. They're telling you you're off kilter. Well, let them think what it is they want. If you know you're following that needle that is pointing north, and you're being true to that and knowing that it is God and it is the prayer and the meditation that is moving you, you might have people come into your world and say, Christian, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm an expert on this one. And maybe they are an expert, and maybe they have accomplished a lot in their life, but I'll tell you what, they do not know what you can accomplish in your life. They don't know what is inside of you. They don't know the divine destiny for which you have been called into expression. They don't know the dispensation of miracles that God is unfolding in your very life. They don't know the love, the rampant love that is in your soul, and the time, the commitment that you're willing to put into bringing forth that for which you are being stirred to do in this upcoming year. You have got all that it takes, and to put your vision and your intention, your focus on that is powerful. Which is why it's wonderful to be in a community of people of like mind, that faith rubs off on you. Maybe you come to a place of question, which is a natural human experience, and recognize that just hanging out in this field feels good. It feels right. The assumptions here are divine because the mind continues to focus in on God. On God. The assumptions don't go killywampus, if that's even a word. I've heard it before. Carol was a high school girl. Came from a pretty nice neighborhood, but she ran around with a real rough crowd in school. One day when her parents were out, she brought some of her friends over, and And her friends weren't from the best neighborhood, so they liked coming to the nice neighborhood. And the guys got kind of carried away in the house after a while, and she caught them rummaging through her parents' dresser drawers. She stopped and said, none of that. She didn't see them take anything, and kicked them all out of the house. And but a week later, she saw one of the guys wearing a real nice watch, like her dad's real nice watch, older watch, fancy watch. And so she confronted him and said, hey, where'd you get that? Did you get that when you're at my house? And he said, no, I didn't. It's mine. And left it at that. But she just couldn't help but wonder, how could someone who really didn't come from a very good place have such a fine watch? And when she went home, she noticed her dad wasn't wearing the fine watch anymore. He was wearing a less expensive watch. And he'd always wear the watch to work, and he was wearing this other watch to work all the time. And she didn't say anything because, well, she didn't want to bring it to his attention, didn't want to get grounded, just, felt guilty around this whole thing, and just, I don't say it. And she held on to that guilt for 30 years. She never said anything to Dad. Finally, after all those years, she was with her dad and said, Dad, I got a story to tell you I never shared with you. You know that watch? I see you haven't worn it in a long time. And she went ahead and proceeded to tell him the story. He said, oh, sweetheart, no. I took that watch and I put it in my safe deposit box. And it's been sitting there. I take it out sometimes, but here's the key. Go check. And for 30 years, she sat with a false assumption. She sat with a guilt rather than clarifying it and getting it cleaned up. What is a good thing to do in our life is to clean up any of that old stuff, any of those old stories that may be going on. Otherwise, we are holding on to things that just may not be the truth, but they're our reality, so they're our truth. I was cleaning out my desk at the end of the year, and I found a story I'm sure I've shared with you, but it's pretty good. I'll do it again. And it's about a young lady, 23 years old, went grocery shopping. At the end of the day, she came back, and she, not the end of the day, at the end of the shopping, she put the bags in her back seat, got in the front seat of her car. She pulled the seat belt on, getting ready to start the ignition, heard bam, like a gunshot, and boom, something hit her in the back of the head, and she just grabbed her head, and she was sure she was shot. And she didn't want to move her hand, and she felt as if she was just holding onto her brains in there, brain tissue, and she just passed out from fear and scared and pain and what have you. She came back a few minutes later, and she just stayed laying on the steering wheel, afraid that if she took her hand off, that there'd be worse challenges. And about an hour later, a gentleman was walking by, saw her hung over her steering wheel with her hand on her head, noticed there was a problem, called the police, and the police came. They came to the door, said, ma'am, can you open your car? She said, I can't. I think I've been shot, and I'm holding my brains in. So they went ahead and broke the back window, and what they discovered was a pressurized Pillsbury Doughboy can of biscuits that exploded in the back seat of the car that smacked and hit her in the head with some of the dough. And she was sitting there the whole time, holding on to that, thinking those were her brains. That's what our thinking can do to us, guys. And so as we come to the end of 2014, clean up some of the old stuff. Take a look at what that TV screen and sound is playing in your head, and close that door and be willing to make some new choices, because the choices you make today are going to change your future. And I encourage you to choose with kindness, to choose with caring. And if you're going to err, which is a human thing, weird word for error, but if you're going to make an error on the side of kindness. Make the error on the side of caring. Make an error on the side of the God expression in your life. Choose to live in happiness. And that happiness doesn't necessarily come from hitting that big home run and having the floodgates pour forth all the abundant blessings at once. If you got it all at once, where would you put it anyway? And so as you begin to choose happiness, recognize that it's not how much can I get or how much I can accomplish, but how much can I enjoy this process of making the next pot, of throwing that next pot, of doing this next thing, of this next creative art project. How much can I find the joy in writing that letter, of sending that email, of gifting that gift, of making this contribution, of being in service, of expressing love, of making that phone call? How much can these little things add up to make a sense of happiness and joy for you? Because if you are living in that joy, if you're living in that happiness, the propensity of the direction in which you are going is going to attract to you your abundant blessings. I've got to tell you up front that 2015 is going to be a really good year for you. Success is yours. Why do you want to make things go faster? Why do you want the quick fix schemes or the quick money when you are guaranteed success now? To be able to enjoy its unfoldment in this coming year will bring the blessings, will bring the happiness, will bring the wonder. And it's not something that's lying out there. It's something that's sitting in here, just waiting to be called forth into expression. And so I assure you that 2015 is going to be a grand, great, glorious, abundant, thriving year for Seaside. And the reason it is because it's going on in the lives of those that are part of this community. And if you're feeling down at all in the next year, I just encourage you to come hang out with your pack, with your spiritual clan, and just allow some of that faith to rub off on you. You don't have to be able to describe it, but you'll walk out of here on Sunday mornings feeling better, with a little more skip in your step, a little bit more volume in your voice, a little bit more joy in your heart, in your world, because this is the natural expression of God, and that there is nothing else that can deny that, because God is all there is, and God is love, God is joy, God is abundance, God is the truth of your being, God is the wholeness, and that is what is for us in 2015. God bless you as we enjoy this together. I love you. Hey, let's keep it going as we bring back to the stage Michael Paul Smith. Think you get this one. February 8th, Paul Robeson, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's right. Thank you.
We'll all be here and more.
Wasn't that great? Oh, my goodness. Woo! No complaints and no regrets. I still believe in chasing dreams and placing bets. For I have learned that all you give is all you get. So you give it all you've got. I've had my share, and I've drank my fill. And even though I'm satisfied, I'm hungry still to see what's down another road beyond the hill, and to do it all again. So here's to life and every joy it brings. Here's to life, to the dreamers and their dreams. Funny how the time just flies. How love can go from warm hellos to sad goodbyes and leave you with a memory you memorize just to keep the winters warm. For there's no yes in yesterday, and who knows what tomorrow brings or takes away. As long as I'm still in the game, I'm gonna play for love, for laughs, for life. So here's to life and every joy it brings. Yes, here's to life, to the dreamers and their dreams. May all your storms be weathered, and all that's good get better. Here's to life, here's to love, and here's to you. And all that's good get better. 'Cause here's to life, here's to love, and here's to you. Here's to you.
Michael Paul Smith. Wow. Beauty, heart, soul, voice, oh my. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Wow. What a special day. What a special day we've created. Hey, this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to unite together in our givingness and the sharing of our gifts and our offering. And know that as we give, it comes back. It's not why we give, but rather it's an extension of our consciousness. It's a statement of who we are. We are being the activity of God in our life. We're setting forth that ripple, that attractive expression that comes back into our life, multiplied many times. And so I invite you to listen to your heart and recognize that we're coming to the year end. And what kind of statement, what kind of exclamation to a grand year do you want to make? Invitation to even grander coming forth. And so with that, I'd like to invite our ushers to come forward at this time as we do take our gift from our heart and our soul and our spirit. I want to say thank you to this wonderful crew. It's helping us, those that mail in your contributions when you can't be here on a Sunday. Gratefully appreciate that, as well as those that participate with the auto tie, that regular systematic support from your world into Seaside. I offer this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing that this truly is a blessed moment where the fullness of the divine expresses itself so perfectly here and now through each and every one of us, that we have become that divine conduit of that God expression that is multiplying in ever-increasing kind of ways. We take that which has touched our heart and our soul and our spirit, and we send it forth back into the world with our blessings, knowing that it continues to bless and enrich everyone it comes in contact with. I say thank you, Father, Mother God, for this opportunity to pause and to recognize at a conscious level that I am that activity that God is having as my very life. And life responds to my level of expression, not my words, but that which I am being in this world. So in a generous, giving kind of way, I find the generous givingness of the unlimited pouring forth its blessings back into my world. I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that, so it is. And let us say together our affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as a giving expression of Spirit. opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. And as I stand before this bounty, I can just feel the love that is pouring forth. For the streams of love are many into Seaside. And Seaside continues to be that profound expression of caring and kindness and generosity for the world. For Seaside continues to shine as a bright beacon here in 2014, going into 2015 because of the love. And as we pause in the busyness of our week and even in our service in this moment, pour forth that love in this with divine collection. These finances are received with gratitude, with appreciation, with love. They're handled in good stewardship, and they're sent forth back into action, into life, bringing blessings and joy to all those it comes in contact. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for using each and every one of us in this moment to expand the collective good and the possibilities that can be done. So we send this forth, that which has blessed us, into the world, noticing those blessings continue to ripple all around and back into our life. And so it is. Amen. All right. And this is Lori Gertz. She is your board treasurer and has helped guide us through a wonderful year at Seaside. You know what? I don't see Lynn Hunginger here. Is Lynn here by any chance? I don't see you. But the flowers she gave in honor of her mother-in-law who made her transition last December, I think it was December 13th, and just wanted to honor her for the love and the generosity that she brings to all of her friends, had brought to all of her friends. So thank you, Lynn. Also on the last Sunday of the month is the Sunday we do our prayer wall, where I invite all the religious science practitioners to stand up here and create this wonderful field of prayer that when we're done praying that you come up and ask for a prayer or have that needle of your intention set to that God direction or to the north and just feel the power that comes. So any of our religious science practitioners that want to stand up here today and create this prayer wall, come on up. And this is beautiful. And also, I thought today, we got Reverend Debbie up here on the stage, and she is going to be starting the Wednesday night service with Reverend Lori Mack next week. And so I thought it'd be a great day to give her the opportunity to pray so you can hear her pray. And then when she's done, then come on up and get your prayers from these guys. And so I'm going to hand this mic back to her, but I do want to acknowledge Dr. Christina Tillotson. They had nearly 100 people here for her Christmas Day service, for her the food, for the community. It was a fabulous day, Dr. Christina. Thank you for creating that. And just bless you. And I know that your burning bowl on Wednesday night here at 7 o'clock will also attract those that want to burn away the old and create space for the new. So the burning bowl ceremony is going on Wednesday night. But right now, to help us close this chapter and to just establish a wonderful new forthcoming future is Reverend Debbie McDonald.
Oh, so just turning within knowing and feeling and sensing that one power and that one presence that is God, that is good, that is love and only love, knowing that there is no other power but the one. And I know that I am one with all that is. And just as I know this is true for me, I know it's true for each and every individual here at Seaside. Each and every person in the world is God made manifest. Everything, every living being. And I'm knowing that as we step into this new expression that there is good and only good, growing and expanding and birthing itself here every day, today and every day. And I know for everybody as they step into their life in a richer way, a fuller way, a more enhanced way, having been here today, knowing that Spirit goes before them and makes straight any crooked places, that each and every one is given all that they need in every moment to sustain their wonderful expansion that is taking place. I know for Seaside Center for Spiritual Living that it is abundantly blessed and prospered, that it is a place of healing, it is a place of coming together, of love and fellowship and friendship, knowing that everybody that is called here by a divine appointment. There are no mistakes, there are no accidents. There's a perfect coming together of like-minded individuals to celebrate and to be on this planet together, knowing that the work that we do here is divinely guided and divinely inspired, that we go out and touch the world and our community and all those that we meet, knowing that every individual is that face of God, and that love extends through each and every one. I know for our beautiful practitioner, Kathy Paulson, that a healing is taking place even right now, that the hands of the medical people working with her and for her are the very hands of God. I know for everybody that has written a prayer in our prayer request chest that a healing is taking place now. It is already done in the mind of God. I'm knowing that there is a growing, there is an expanding, there's a huge bounty of good awaiting each and every individual. And I know for Dr. Christian and his wife Callie and their son Trevor that as they step into this next few weeks of vacation, that there is renewal and a relaxation and a peacefulness that abounds, knowing that he comes back refreshed and revitalized, stepping into this new year of amazing creations that are taking place here at Seaside, blessing each and every individual on their wonderful journey into the new year, knowing that everybody is safe and guided and guarded, protected on this New Year's Eve, knowing that New Year's Day is a beautiful new birth, a new celebration. It's with a sense of absolute gratitude, for all that has been given and all that is yet to be, that I just simply release these words in this divine action of the law, knowing it is done, and so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. This is what you have to say, that I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. So no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Now I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Say no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Seaside, sing it out loud. Said no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yeah.
And our affirmation is 2015 is a great year for me. Together, 2015 is a great year for me. Again, 2015 is a great year for me. One more time, 2015 is a great year for me. Remember that. Say that a lot. But right now, our grace song.
I'm living in love, I'm living in peace, I'm living my life for what I believe, through joys and through fears. In this world I walk, God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor our truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me, and it moves through us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in
Come on forward. Get some prayer. It feels good. It's free. It's a spirit. It's divine. It's a blessing. Come receive prayer from your practitioners.